Amherst Auto Recycling Mustang for Ron Smith. In the 27, Darrell Pollard from Greenfield. And the Rum Saab Repair Saab, the 7, is Chris Norton out of West Chesterfield, New Hampshire. The 22 back again is Mike Patnode from Keene, New Hampshire. Here's the green, first qualifying event. On the track into turn 2, the lead will be the 11 for Chris Lashaway. His one career win has come driving this car for Fred Felton. Moving up into 2 is Ron Smith. He works to the inside of Davis. Kevin Clayton on the outside, 2, 15, and 1. They stack them up on turn 2, and it's Smith with the second spot. Lashaway, Smith, a three-way battle for third, and Pollard will pick up the spot. Clayton goes to 4th, 5th for Davis, 6th for Norton, 7th for Lawrence. Patnode runs in 8th. Lashaway opening up a good lead, but now that Smith is free, he's beginning to run him down. Working off turn 2, Chris Lashaway trying to hold that spot in this qualifying event. It's 8 laps long, and we have completed 4 laps now. Lashaway, Smith, Pollard, Clayton, Davis, Norton, and Lawrence. The 22 of Patnode has pulled out. Here's Smith right on the bumper, loose and brings it back. Had a good run, but couldn't keep the nose where he needed to. He'll run up on him again as they head down into turn 3. Lashaway into the corner, on the brakes and on the gas. Here's Smith to the inside, 2 laps to go as they come to the line. Smith and Lashaway doing battle for that top spot in this qualifying event. Off turn 2, they're side by side, down the backstretch. It's Smith with about a bumper's lead. He takes it hard and low into 3. Out of 4, he'll have a clear lead with 1 lap to go. It'll be Smith, Lashaway, and Pollard as they come off turn 2 on the final lap of this qualifying event. Clayton a distant 4th. Then Davis and Norton. Here's the checkered flag for Smith, Lashaway, Pollard, Clayton. The battle for 5th will be won by Jason Davis ahead of Chris Norton. And then Charlie Lawrence in the 62. And that's how our first qualifying event shakes out. The win goes arriving in the 4. A 3-time winner from West Bridgewater, Mass., Alan Anaki. Quickly into the corner, it'll be Davis, Chafee, Davis, and Alexander. Alexander quickly up into 3rd spot underneath Davis. DeWitt Davis in the 367 to 33 is Chafee. 2nd, 3rd is Alexander. Jason Davis goes 4th, Ron Bailey is 5th, Anaki is 6th on the outside and moving up. And the 45 has already had his problems and is trying to rejoin the field. His first time on the racetrack. He's back at it. Davis and Chafee, Alexander, Bailey, and Anaki. Bailey and Davis kind of all over the place, keeping Anaki behind him, but if he can get by, he'll catch the leaders. Anaki underneath Bailey for 4th. Up front, it's still DeWitt Davis, Phil Chafee, and Beef Alexander. Alan Anaki using every groove he can find to get through traffic. Hasn't had a chance to get any practice in. Still tightening his seatbelts as he goes by. And now just out there to run down the leaders. 5 laps down. Now 2 to go. Must be a 7-lap qualifying event. This one may be a little short. Now it's 2 to go. For Davis, Chafee, Alexander, Anaki, Bailey, and Davis. A lap behind in the 45 is Murray. Now the white flag, 1 lap left. The battle heats up for the lead. Chafee putting some pressure on Davis. Chafee and Davis for the lead. Alexander just hanging back there. White flag for the last car. That's the 45, and there's the checkers for DeWitt Davis. DeWitt Davis takes the win. Second goes to Bill Chafee. Third to Beef Alexander. Alan Anaki is fourth. Fifth for Ron Bailey in the 99. Sixth to Chris Davis. And seventh is Tom Murray. Anaki, been getting here late, manages
out of Orange, Massachusetts. And the 22 is Joe Zellman from Lake Pleasant. Green this time by. There it is. And the field is underway. Living Good out in front with Bizzaio now moving up into second spot. Marion on the outside dropping back. Here comes Bizzaio up high, and he will look to take the lead this time by. He's got it as they go down into turn number one, but not by much. Living Good comes right back down low in the 87. Scott Cashman, meanwhile, is running third. In the fourth position, it's now Marion holding back Fitzgerald. Now to the line, Bizzaio is out in front, but once again, not by much. And now this time on the back straightaway, he pulls out ahead. Living Good in line for second. Battle for third. Scott Cashman down low. Marion up high. Fitzgerald right there to contend with car number 41. Now Cashman and Marion come in a little bit of contact. And we've got a spin in turn two. That's Bob Attorney going around with car number 13. Bring out the yellow flag as that battle for the fourth and fifth positions will come to a halt. Cashman in the 19, 53 of Marion, and Fitzgerald and Zellman. Joe Zellman up from the back of the pack to just inside the top five at one time. And Living Good. Down the backstretch. Kenny Isomo looks him over. He throws the green, and they're off and running once again. Getting down into turn number one, Bizzaio leads on the inside. Here comes Marion with the 53. He's trying to move into second. He's got the spot. Taking the advantage over Living Good is Marion. He moves into the runner-up position. Now Zellman has moved up to fourth, and he'll definitely be a challenge for Living Good. Battle for the lead. Marion to the outside of Bizzaio. Bizzaio coming right back down low with the 6, and at the line, looked like he had it by an advantage very slightly over Marion. Johnston way up high with the 2. He dirt tracks it in turn number 2. Heading off of turn 4 this time, Bizzaio right back down low, and at the line, they're side by side. Marion gets the edge going down into turn number 1. As they come off turn 2 this time, it's Bizzaio, and here comes Zellman to challenge with car number 22. Zellman sticks the nose right up in close contact with the white flag in the air. It's Bizzaio holding on. Can he take the win? We'll know in less than a lap. He's holding off Marion for the most part, but Marion with a surge of speed comes right back going into turn 3. Now gets way up high. Bizzaio dives in. They make contact, and Zellman gets by. With car number 22, he takes Drew with him. Bizzaio goes back to third, Marion to fourth. Quite a finish. Marion dove in real deep, then got sideways, got into Bizzaio, and they both lost 2 spots. Your winner is Joe Zellman. Good run with car number 22, as he made that nice last-minute move, taking the lead. Steve Drew also right in there. He finishes second. Then it was the 6 for Bizzaio, the 53 for Marion, and the 2 for Bill Johnston. So there's your field for the second of 2 strictly qualifying heats. Frank Carey Sr. and Paul Barnard will bring the field around. Right behind them is Scott Zielinski in the 7 and Rob Morton in the OT. Here they come. Not a good start for Barnard, but Carey gets off, and there's the green flag. Carey in the 3. With a nice jump into the lead, but he's got Zielinski right behind him, ready to challenge with car number 7. Scott Zielinski gets right down to the low side of the racetrack, coming off turn 4 this time. He's got the lead. So it's Zielinski now powering out in front with Carey second, Barnard third, Warren fourth, Petowski, Griswold, Cashman, and Meany all going at it for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Pachalski has the 5th spot. Here comes Kasman in the 17X. Tom Kasman Jr. looks low. Pachalski gets a little loose, and Kasman goes by to grab that 5th spot. Meanwhile, back up front, it is Zielinski pulling away. Carey running 2nd. Barnard 3rd. 4th is Morton, and 5th is now Tom Kasman Jr. Kasman looks to the inside briefly at Morton, and now gets back in line. Consultation flag for Irving Reed in the 77. Zielinski powering off of turn 2. Carey 2nd. Barnard 3rd. Morton and Kasman staying in line. Here comes Meany in the 15. Down low on Kasman. He'll try to take the 5th spot this time by. White flag is out. Zielinski way out in front. Dirt tracks it in turn 4. Carey, Barnard, Morton, and here comes Speedy down low on Kasman. We'll see who's going to win that battle for position number 5 when the checkered flag falls this time by. Now Kasman shoots to the outside of Morton. Now we'll watch a battle for 4th. Checkered flag is out. It's Zielinski for the win, and for 4th, it is Kasman. Tom Kasman Jr. right into that 4th spot on the last lap with the 17X. Good
Pontiac for Rob Goodenough in the 13. Last week's feature winner from Goshen, New Hampshire. 65 wins to his credit at Monadnock, Funky Karen. In the 9, it's Mike Batchelor. The 12 is Kevin Blackmore. Quickly into turn 1, and off the 2nd turn, it'll be Grasso and Hersey. Patno, Brio, and Bree. Goodenough works up the outside. Here's Grasso with the lead for lap 1. Brio way up high, opens the door for Funky Karen. Don't give Karen an inch, because he'll take a mile. Here comes your leader, Grasso. Hersey, Patno. Bill Bree and Funky Karen working the outside and moving up. Rob Goodenough is into 6th now. Then it's Brio, Mike Batchelor, and Kevin Blackmore. Up front, Grasso using all the racetrack to hold that lead. Here's Hersey to challenge. Karen being the bold one, running the outside. Bree down to the low side. Works on Patno. Karen up to the high side of Patno. Gets around Bree. He's got 4th, and he's working on 3rd. Now he works on Patno for 3rd as they come off turn 4 at the halfway mark. It's Grasso and Hersey. Patno, Karen, Bree, and Goodenough. Staley come together as Karen moves up behind Grasso. He even thought about going 3 wide, sticks his nose down in there. The hole closes up, and it's Grasso dropping back to 3rd, back into 2nd. Patno has the low side. If he can root his way through there, he's opened the gate up, and Karen is there. Hersey holds the lead. Patno 2nd, Karen low for 3rd. Bill Bree to 4th, Grasso back to 5th. Goodenough now takes it over off turn 2. 2 laps to go now for Hersey, Patno, Karen, and Bree. Karen finds the room underneath Patno, puts the nose down there, breaks loose, makes a little contact, and takes 2nd. White flag. Karen's got to run Hersey down now. Bill Bree trying to get one more spot. Can't do it off turn 2. Here comes the checkered, and Russ Hersey's got the win. Karen 2nd, Patno 3rd, Bree 4th. Goodenough 5th, Grasso 6th, and Brio 7th, 8th is Batchelor, and 9th is the 12 New Hampshire for Kevin Blackmore. A good run for rookie Russ Hersey. Kevin Pooh, here they come, 10 laps for qualifying. There's the green. Bianca, Rod Alsop, and the 77 of Bruce Batchelor. Chris Batchelor before in the 77. A bunch of winners in this event. Fiandaca holds the lead. Alsop low side, Rugg high side, and Marquis, Bachelor, and the 88 for Boniface. Fiandaca using up the racetrack to hold the lead. Alsop now into second. Rugg drops to third. Bachelor dropped all the way back to sixth, now works up on the outside again. Everybody looking for some racing room, and it's so tight there's not much there. Fiandaca, Alsop, Rugg. Marquis, Boniface, inside line, starts to move. Marquis up to third, Boniface in fifth, Rugg stuck on the outside. Open last week's tires will hold up for him. He gets into the backup. Marquis, and that opens a hole. Boniface fills the hole, and Bachelor gets to the low side and tries to get his share. Up front, it's still Fiandaca, Alsop, Marquis, and Boniface. Rugg going backwards. Bachelor moves up into fifth. 7 laps complete, 3 to go. Pete Fiandaca having the best run he's had since he returned this year. Fiandaca also, Marquis looking for some inside running room, can't find it, 2 laps to go. Marquis can move up if he can find the hole, but it's not there. Pete Fiandaca looking for a white flag, this time off turn 4, and now Marquis looks to the outside. Marquis set also up with inside moves and now goes around him off turn 2. And here's Marquis working on Fiandaca for the checkered flag as they come off the corner. Fiandaca, Marquis, Alsop, Boniface, and Bachelor will be your top 5. Rugg, and Prue round out the top 7 or 8. The win to Pete Fiandaca, Jerry Marquis second, Nipper Alsop third. The Meadows Motors, Leon's Auto Buick, 29 Mass is Glenn Brio, and the 12 for Frank Buffum Jr. Green flag is out. Evans heads down into turn number 1 with the lead. Here comes Griswold up the inside of Brio. Glenn Griswold down low, making a charge for the second spot. He makes the move. He's got runner-up. Here comes Barry Gray down low in the 29. Stebbins out in front. Griswold. Gray now third. Brio back to 4th, and Glenn Brio in 5th, and Buffum in 6th in car number 12. Now, Gray makes a move to the outside of Griswold for second. Stebbins continues to be your leader. Here comes Gray up the outside with the 29. He just about has the second spot at the line. Yes, he does. Griswold back to third, and now the Brios battle for the 4th spot. Eddie Brio Jr. and Glenn Brio going at it for position number 4. Eddie now has the advantage on Glenn. Halfway marker is out. Gray now looking for some room to challenge Dan Stebbins. Stebbins in the 5 has shown great improvement this season, and now we'll see. This is the real test here. If he can hold off Barry Gray. And if so, for how long? Stebbins in the 5, runs down into turn number 3, the low side, drifts up just a little bit, gets a little bit dirt tracky off of turn 4, and Gray now looks to the outside with car number 29, sets him up, then dives low with the 29. As they head into turn 3, Stebbins gives him a little room, moves up. Then off of turn 4, puts the pedal to the metal and heads down into turn number 1, continuing to hold the lead. They have pulled away from Griswold. Glenn Brio's now 4th, Eddie Brio's 5th, and then Buffum is 6th. The white flag is in the air, 1 circuit to go. Gray dirt tracks it coming off of turn 4 that time, trying to get around Stebbins, but the 5 is holding on and doing one fine job too.
Here they come for the checkered flag, and it's Dan Stebbins for the win. Great run, a few top 10 finishes, some great runs, and he's back to strut his stuff along with these other 6 drivers in qualifying heat number 2 for the late models. Green flag is out. Clinton Graham runs away with the lead with car number 11. Here comes Roger Shepard on the outside with the 34. He grabs second. Alexander, the 44X, on the outside of Meany, looking for third, and he's got it. Meany dropping back a little ways to fourth. Then it's Gaynor, Fitzgerald, and Maxfield. Battle at the back of the pack. Gaynor trying to hold off the 98 of Maxfield and the 87 of Fitzgerald. They all get a little swirly. Gaynor with the 6 up high gets a little loose, and Fitzgerald and now Maxfield will move in. Meanwhile, back up front, battle for second. Alexander looking to the inside of Shepard. Can't quite make the move to the inside as he tries to get side by side with Shepard and battle him down into turn 3. Shepard holds the spot as Graham continues to lead. Alexander once again comes off turn 4 to the low side. The battle becomes even closer this time. Shepard holds off the challenge from Alexander and holds the runner-up spot, but once again Alexander down low. Shepard with some power on the outside is able to move back around and hold second. Graham way out in front with the 11. Shepard and Alexander, second and third. Then it's Meany in fourth. Here comes Fitzgerald and Maxfield. The 87 and the 98, they're looking to catch Meany. And Gaynor back there with car number 6. White flag is out for Graham. Battle for second continues. Roger Shepard, the 34, and Alexander, the 44X. Checkered is in the air. It's Graham for the win. And Shepard will hold the second spot. Here comes the battle for fourth now, and it's going to be Meany with the 5 mass. Couple of tight quarters all the way around the racetrack. Clinton Graham got way out in front and held on for the win. Here they come. Lazy start. Ed Stone takes him off the corner, and they'll reset the lineup. Ken Isimone did not like that start at all. Ed Stone, T.J. Small, Jerry Markey, and Rusty Ball in the 20. The 17 is Jack Bateman. The 16, Dave Pinkham. 0, Ed Kennedy. 9, Dan Avery. The 28, Dwight Jarvis. 19, Roger Raymond. The 9 is Dennis Albro. The 87, Dennis O'Connor. Here they come. Stone brings the field down into turn 2, and Markey squeezes his way into second. Bateman is right there in third as Small gets shuffled to the outside. It's Stone, Markey, Bateman, Small, Kennedy, and Ball. Kennedy and Ball battle for fifth off the corner. Here's Markey, works his way up on the outside of Stone. Kennedy into the back of T.J. Small and almost takes himself out. Kennedy's bobble gives Jarvis the open door. Here's Bateman for second now. It's Markey, Bateman, Stone, Small, and Ball. Jarvis, Kennedy, and Avery. Pinkham, Albro, and Raymond. Then O'Connor. Markey looking strong.
Avery and Pinkham. 1 lap left. The winner, Jerry Marquis, Jack Bateman, Jarvis, Ed Stone, DJ Small, followed by Ball, Ed Kennedy, Avery, Albo, and the remainder of the field. I don't know if Keith Stevens is in the 19 today or whether that's Roger Raymond making it back down from Loudon. Jan Stevens at the controls. He's got the flags ready. We're about set to cut this first feature event of the evening loose. Here they come, looking for the green as they head down the backstretch. They'll get it where that white stripe is in turn 3. Here they come, and there's the green. Lash away on the gas. He's got a good ride. If he can hold it, he could take a win. It's Lashaway, Davis, Chafee, Davis, Clayton, Davis, Norton, Bailey, and look out, Ron Smith. Chris Lashaway leads him off. Lashaway holds the lead through 2. Lashaway, DeWitt Davis, Bill Chafee, Kevin Clayton, Jason Davis, Alexander, Pollard, Bailey, Anaki, Davis, Smith, Norton, Lawrence, Murray, and Patnode. And with 3 laps in the books, Chris Lashaway's hanging in there. Lashaway and Davis up front. Chafee, Layton, now Alexander. Anaki moving up the inside. Smith working on the outside of it. Oh boy, Beef Alexander way up the banking. Chris Lashaway working out front, hoping to stay there. Everybody's going to have to chase him hard tonight. Lashaway, Davis, Chafee. Pollard now finally finds a hole and works underneath Kevin Clayton to take over the 4th spot on the field. Beef Alexander recovers and he moves into 5th. But Chris Lashaway is way out there. Davis, Chafee, Pollard, Anak, Alexander, then Smith, Clayton, and Anaki. Your big winners running near the middle of the pack now. A half lap behind your leader. Smith and Alexander fighting for position on the racetrack, and Smith has got 5th on the low side of turn 2. Here's your leader. Complete 11. 9 to go. DeWitt Davis running strong in 2nd. Bill Chafee goes to 3rd. Pollard is 4th. Smith is 5th. Alexander 6th. Anaki 7th. Clayton is 8th. 9th is Norton, and 10th right now is Jason Davis. Here's the battle. Smith on the back bumper. Charlie Lawrence bangs him around a little bit and goes underneath. Doesn't lose any ground. Felton, Davis, Chafee, check that, Lashaway in the Felton car. Then Davis and Chafee has a little trouble going around the 46. Pollard and Smith, Alexander and Anaki. This time by, there'll be 5 laps to go. 5 to go. for Chris Lashaway in the 11th. DeWitt Davis in the 367. Third is Chafee. Fourth is Pollard. And fifth is Smith. Smith trying to set Pollard up for another move into the fourth spot. Alexander is seventh. And sixth, rather. Anaki is seventh, and they swap places. 4 laps to go for Chris Lashaway. Lashaway moving up on slower traffic. DeWitt Davis, second spot, maybe in jeopardy. Chafee runs third. Pollard is fourth. See if Lashaway can get through the Davises. He does. Just barely. Chris Davis and Jason Davis fighting for position, but they're running up in front of the leaders, and they've got to move over. Billy Chafee's in deep trouble, and he will go all the way back to 7th spot. White flag now for Chris Lashaway. He runs first. DeWitt Davis is second. Ron Smith is third. Pollard is fourth, and Anki's fifth, and Davis may lose that spot. He's going to try to split the other Davises. And Smitty takes it way down. DeWitt Davis is in trouble. Here's the checkered flag. The winner is Lashaway. Smith goes second, and Pollard goes third. Last year, his first win came on September 7th, driving the same car for Fred Belton. And today, the Volvo gets retired. And here's your winner, Chris Lashaway. For those of you who didn't hear me tell everybody that Chris was in the 11, including the people who didn't tell me till you got out here, Chris, Freddie puts together a nice car for you to get around in, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he knows how to make them.
Pretty happy about this?
Yeah, I am. Last week you told me maybe I'd get a win with mine. I wouldn't need the 11, but you were wrong.
Hey, a win is a win, no matter how you shape it up, and sure makes sitting out there in the hot sun laying asphalt, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is much more fun.
Chris Lashaway, your winner, second career win here in the High Banks, and that's the way it runs. We've got a hot number 2 here. This time 4 cylinders, but a lot of traffic.
Yeah, a lot of traffic. Track a little slick tonight. We went for a ride. I was just talking to one of the guys. We went up a ground a good foot anyway off the ground in the back, and I was very fortunate to keep it straight down the track. And I just kind of collected it up and went on my way. But the track is slick tonight.
Well, it's a hot night, and I guess it's probably going to be just a little bit on the slick side. We'll see how it bears fruit with the other divisions. And Darrell Pollard, you're getting, I think, a reputation of being Mr. Consistency, if nothing else.
Oh, that was a great race. I don't think I've ever been in a green to checkered race, but no, that was great. I'm glad to be here. We started so far back. Car's handling great. I can't argue. So, hey, here we are.
And I hear you guys had a pretty good turnout at Western Auto on Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot more people than I thought. I'm glad all the people showed up to see the cars. That was good. Good publicity for us and the track.
And not to mention a little bit of a boost morale-wise for all that support. We'll be moving on to our next feature event. Your winner again will be Chris Lashaway. For the Pro Stock Division. Pete Piandaca looking for his first win. Danny Grasso sits on the pole. Rookie driver Russ Hersey would like a win as well, and here they come. Here's the green, and we're away. Grasso lays the rubber into the track and takes the lead. Hersey moves into second, Piandaca to third. Pat Note and Rod contest fourth. Then it's Brio, Alsop, and Batchelor. Grasso holds on. Hersey moves into second. Piandaca solid in third now. Pat Note fourth. He's going to move on the inside of Piandaca. The battle is for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Seventh and eighth as they slice and dice. Here's Pat Note inside Piandaca trying to take third. Hersey going for first. Here's Hersey. He's got a shot at the lead coming off the corner. Grasso holds on. Pat Note and Piandaca bump a little bit. Pat Note Patnold on the low side looking for third. Karen up the inside underneath Bob Rock, trying to move up the line. And this time, the lead belongs to Russ Hersey. It's Hersey, Grasso, Patnold, Batchelor, Fiandaca, Brio, Bree, and Karen. Lucky Karen working the outside where he runs so well, trying to move up the line. He takes one, going into turn 4, and he'll work on the other off 4. Not quite. Glenn Brio doesn't give him any room. Here's the battle for second now. Patnold, Grasso, and Batchelor, Fiandaca, and Brio. Whoa! Grasso and Patnold come together. They're on the brakes. Patnold's lost the tire. The caution is out. Patnold squeezed Grasso up by the wall, and Grasso made contact with Patnold's right rear, and I think that cut the tire down. That brings out the caution on lap 7. We're ready to restart them here. Lap 9. Are they ready? Hersey and Batchelor are clearly not ready for the restart, and probably one reason why is Bob Rugg is just coming back in now. Here comes a couple of guys out of the back who see a flag move and don't know this color. Color's supposed to be green. They'll settle back in. Hersey in the 13X, the 77 is Bruce Batchelor Jr. Pete Fiandaca in the 135. The 21K for Glenn Brio. Bill Bree in the 6X. Funky Karen in the 13. Rob Goodenough in the 1. They bump bumpers, and here they come. Green is out, and we're underway. Let's see who's going to get the break. Batchelor takes the high road. Can't quite wind it up, and Russ Hersey will hold on to the lead. Hersey, Batchelor, and Brio. Funky Karen up to 4th. Fiandaca runs in 5th. Bale beginning to shuffle the deck behind him. Hersey in trouble. Batchelor tries the outside, doesn't get enough room. Now he'll go back to the outside again. Batchelor can't quite hold it. Hersey takes the low line. Batchelor right back up there. They battle side by side, and Funky Karen is there along with Glenn Brio. A little contact on the backstretch. Hersey a little loose. Karen's right there to take advantage. Karen loose. Brio gets into the back of him. Hersey and Batchelor in a dynamite battle for that spot. Hersey holds the low line. Batchelor's right up there. This time, Batchelor's got the sweet spot off turn 2, and he's got the lead. Batchelor, Hersey, Karen, and Bree. And Batchelor takes over the lead on lap 14. Hersey can't hold it down. Karen way up on the outside. Look out! Glenn Brio into the wall. Into the dirt bank. Caution is out. Brio got up over the back of somebody fighting for position. Got up over a wheel. Came down, hit the wall, hit the dirt bank, and Safety Services is on the spot. Went up over the rear wheel, I think, of Marquis as they dice for position back there. Let's see if he's all right. He's out. He's okay. What a ride. $39.54 in 1994 for a couple of nice cups to drink cold sodas in on a hot day. More drawing right after this. Here they come. Looking for green this time. And we're off again. Lap 15. Karen and Hersey come together. Karen drops low and grabs second spot. Bachelor goes to third. To first, rather. Hersey to third, and Boniface moves up. Bruce Bachelor Jr. trying to hold on for win number 2. Karen and Boniface on their way. Trouble in the wall. Todd Patnode into the wall. Gets out of the groove, and he's going to be in trouble. Here is caution again. Not a good start. That's probably why Bachelor and Boniface got the jump. Karen slides back up into second spot. Ready to try it again. Bruce Bachelor, Punky Karen bring the field down. Boniface and Mike Bachelor sitting behind them. Here they are, good and even, and there's the green. Boniface on the back bumper of Bachelor trying to move him into Karen. It doesn't work. Karen works on the outside, Bachelor on the low side. Here they come to the halfway mark. Bruce Bachelor spins around, takes himself off the track, and Karen takes over the lead. The caution comes out. Pete has his troubles with the 135. Punky Karen is ushered to the back of the pack for aiding and abetting the spin-out. So both Bachelor and Karen will have to fight their way from the back of the pack to get to the front. Tough break for both of them, because it could have been a heck of a battle, a rookie against a veteran. All right. Got a little slowdown in the action. Let's get some more cups out of here. Got cups for you, 39.64, 37.89, and 37.88. Come on up and get your cups for the North Country Street Rod Show. Sunday afternoon, or all day Sunday, or whatever it is, at Allen Field in Ashby, Massachusetts. It'll be Boniface and Bachelor, Goodenough and Hersey, Alsop and Rugg, Markey and Blackmore with Crew and Bree. Then Karen and Bachelor, and a couple of guys who are either have cars that are ailing or cars that have gone to the back by choice. Next time by, restart lap 19. Here they come. Bachelor and Boniface. Boniface gets a little bit of the advantage. Field pours off turn 2. Boniface, Bachelor, Goodenough, Hersey, and Alsop. Karen and Bachelor up through traffic. They've got a ways to go, but plenty of time to do it in. Boniface using the brake and keeping everybody behind him. Boniface and Batchelor up front. Goodenough, Hersey, Alsop, and Marquis. Then Rod, Bree, Batchelor, and Karen. Batchelor and Karen trying to catch up to the field, but they're losing ground. Meanwhile, Boniface is looking for win number 2. Batchelor wants number 3. Goodenough wants number 3 too. Karen picks up the spot he was looking for. Bill Bree trying to get underneath Bob Rod. Now Karen's got a problem. The 13 slows. 13 is in trouble. And Punky Karen will take the Paul & Suds Thunderbird into the pits. Boniface, Batchelor, and Goodenough up front with 10 laps to go. Pete Bianca has problems with the 135, and he's going to pull out. Here's Marquis working on Alsop for 5th place. Zipper Alsop running strong tonight. Marquis can't find a way around. Bill Bree right there to fill the hole. Jim Boniface, Bruce Batchelor, Mike Batchelor rather. Trying for second. 6 laps to go now. 6 to go. Boniface looks like he's getting just a little bit stronger. 5 left. Win number 2. Hoping to get there. Boniface, Batchelor, Goodenough. Then it's Hersey and Alsop. Winding down. 3 to go now. 3 to go for Jim Boniface. Mike Batchelor, Robbie Goodenough. 2 laps left. 2 to go. Here's Batchelor inside Boniface. Batchelor, Boniface into the corner. They rub hubs and tires, and Batchelor takes over the lead. White flag time. Bruce Batchelor has nosed his way in. Problems on the 13X. He got in trouble. They'll finish under caution, and Mike Batchelor gets win number 3. Apparently, 2 drivers did not notice that was a finish under caution. Tough break for Russ Hersey in the 13. Hersey and Alsop came together on lap 35, or 34 rather. And the win goes to Mike Batchelor with a great move with a lap left. Mike Batchelor rolls into victory lane for the 3rd time this season. And we'll find out just exactly how he feels about it in a minute. Just in case you missed the fireworks last week. Let's welcome your feature winner for tonight's 35-lap Pro Stock main event. Here he is, Mike Batchelor. Whoa, well, you were saving that one for a big moment. I'll tell you, where did you find that move?
Jim just started slowing up in the corner so much. I knew I could go faster if I could just get around him. I didn't want to take him out or anything, but I wanted to get by. So I worked hard at it.
Well, you guys might have rubbed a hub or two, but it sure was an exciting way to get up to the front.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad that it turned out the way it did, and I'm glad he was all right. I thank everybody.
Good crew, and who's your engine builder these days?
It's still Alsop's in Woodstock, Vermont.
Just a little plug for the Alsop family, and a good run for Mike Batchelor for win number 3. Last year, Mr. Consistency. This year, he's had 3 wins. And Jim Boniface, they gave you a break a little bit, I guess, when Bunky and Bruce Jr. came together and had to go to the rear, and you had your shot at it. Was the car up to snuff or what?
Yeah, the car went pretty good. We just got a little high going into one, and Batchelor, he earned it. I'm glad he won it. So.
But the car's running after what we went through early in the year. Finishes like this got to be worth it, no matter where you are.
Oh yeah, anytime you come here and finish in the top 3, I guess you can go home happy. It's better than coming home on a hook or something, you know.
Well, he did okay. Second place tonight to Jim Boniface. And Rob Goodenough brings the entire town of West Swansea down here to do some cheering for him, just so we know they're here. And were you telling me in the pits tonight that this is a new motor?
This is a 3rd week on the motor. We had some handling problems the first couple weeks. The TA got so much power in this thing that we had to make it handle again. TA really gave us a good motor, and we're running strong. We're fighting some handling problems, but we're getting it worked out. The car's running great. I want to thank the whole crew for all their work they're doing. I want to thank Classic Auto Machines. I want to thank TA Engines for all their help. They're really getting us going again. I want to thank National Killing Chiropractic in West Swansea and the whole crew. I got to thank Dad and Harley and the whole crew. They're really fighting hard for us, and we're plugging hard, and we're showing good.
Win number 3 may not be that far away.
We're looking for win number 3, but we're looking for consistency right now. We just took the point lead tonight. We're just trying to finish, yes, in the top 3. We'd love to have another win, but we're out for the points, and we're going to finish the race.
Well, Rob Goodenough, the man who takes over the points, he knows where he is, and we'll hope to see him in victory lane again before the year's out. As we said just a little bit earlier, Jimmy Spencer's here, and we'll let you know when we have a chance to talk with him. And
finish the 35-lap Pro Stock feature, and now it's time for the 25-lap late model feature. The cars are geared up and ready to go, and we've got contact right off the bat. Clinton Graham, Barry Gray, and Kirk Alexander, Roger Shepard, also involved Phil Meany. We go to yellow as Alexander slams the wall hard coming off of turn 4. Meany on the front row got a little crossed up. Cram came in, made contact. Barry Gray also became involved, and then Kirk Alexander got the worst of it. Back out, and everybody's back. That's good. And here's the green flag. It's Stebbins and Meany in row number 1, bringing the field around. The green is out. Racing through turns 1 and 2, Dan Stebbins is your leader. Meany again gets a little bit crossed up. And here comes Clinton Cram to the outside with car number 11. The 11 of Cram. Trying to move in a second, Meany again gets through. And Cram takes the spot as the 5 mass loses several positions. Brent Brio has moved up into position number 3 with a 29 mass, and Glenn Griswold is right there in 4th in car number 60. Moving up to 5th is Barry Gray in the 29, then it's Al Fitzgerald, Eddie Brio Jr., Dennis Maxfield moving up in the 98. Here comes Roger Shepard back with the 34, Alexander in the 44X, Buffum in the 12, then Gaynor and Meany. Stebbins continuing to lead. Here comes the battle for second. On the back straightaway, we've got Graham down low, Brio on the high side, and off the turn, it's Graham moving back out ahead. Brio and Griswold running right there to contend. Here comes Barry Gray in the 29, now running 5th and has caught the top 4. Heavy smoke as Glenn Griswold really smokes the tires on the 60. Puffum out of shape on the front stretch. Good battle now for second. Graham has come up on the leader, and then Brio fights right back with a 29 mass. A big battle for the lead. Now Brio gets ahead for second. Can he make the move for the lead on 7th? We'll see as they exit turn number 4 this time. Graham right back on the low side as Barry Gray has now moved into position number 4. So Gray is definitely a threat as Stebbins tries to hold off the hard-charging field of Brio, Graham, and Gray behind him. They come off turn 2, side by side for second, Graham and Brio. Off turn 4 this time, Graham takes the second spot back. Hill looks to move in on 7, still can't make the move. Stebbins doing a fine job holding, and this time gets a little bit crossed up, and Graham is able to get by with the 11, or at least get up alongside, not get by yet. Now on the backstretch, Graham has the advantage. Let's see, hopefully Stebbins this time will be able to hold it. They come together, and Graham slams the wall coming off of turn 4. Car number 11 goes hard into the wall and then comes back across the track and spins with Glenn Griswold in turn 2. Field makes it by, yellow flag is out. Heavy contact once again on the front straightaway with Clinton Cram getting crossed up as he and Stebbins got together once again. Cram got the worst of it as he got sideways and hit the wall at a ton coming off of turn 4. Also, Stebbins and Barry Gray. Gray all the way up to second after being involved in a lap 1 incident. Here they come. Green flag is out, and Eddie Brio Jr. makes it back out just in time. Down into turn number 1 they go. Stebbins down low. Barry Gray takes the lead on the high side. Gaynor pulls to the infield with car number 6. Stebbins comes right back down low, but off turn 4, it's Gray with the advantage. Barry Gray off of turn 2 moves way out in front. Here comes Roger Shepard up high with a 34, looking to get around Stebbins for the second spot. Here comes Brio in the 29 mass down low, and trouble off of turn 4. Fitzgerald goes around. Maxfield makes contact. He's got a flat right front. Slowing on the racetrack in turn 2, the yellow is back out. Yellow flag back out. Al Fitzgerald gets crossed up coming off turn 4, goes around. He collects Maxfield, who has a flat right front on the 98. It's Roger Shepard, Glenn Brio, and Kirk Alexander. Stebbins side by side on the backstretch, looking for green this time by with 13 laps complete in this 25-lap late model feature. And here they come. Gray gets a good jump. Shepard dives low. Green flag is out. Roger Shepard tucks right in for the second spot, and the yellow flag comes back out. Apparently, Kenny Isimo did not like the start. Stebbins wasn't right up with Gray, so they're going to give that another chance. Alexander doing a little more damage to that front end as he couldn't get on the binders quickly enough. Two by two, they come out of turn 2. Gray and Stebbins will have to stay dead even. That'd be a perfect restart. Now they begin to wind it up. The green is back out. Glenn Brio gets high in the 29 mass. He pulls out a line, but Meany and Griswold go by. got trouble as Brio has spun in the second turn with Frank Buffum. There's the yellow flag. It looks like maybe the radiator let go in the 29 Mass car, the car that doesn't really handle too well here. And this is his Hudson car, so he's going to try to dial this one in for here and the other one for Hudson. See how that works out. Green flag is back out, and Barry Gray will lead him off of turn 4. Right back to the bottom of the racetrack goes Roger Shepard, and he has the second spot. Stebbins fighting with Griswold for third. Griswold and Alexander run the low side. Alexander gets loose and gathers it back in nicely, the 44X. Griswold now runs up in third. Stebbins fourth. And Alexander fifth. 10 laps to go this time for Gray. Shepard running in second. Griswold doing a fine job in third. Stebbins fourth and Alexander fifth. Time, 16 laps up on the board, 9 to go. Gray now pulling away from Shepard. And they're pretty distant also from Glenn Griswold. And Dan Stebbins holding fourth. Kirk Alexander rounds out the top 5 with a 44X. We'll see if Stebbins is looking to move right back in on Griswold in a battle for third. This time, 5 laps to go for Barry Gray. Battle for third is a good one. Stebbins looking for racing room. Griswold and Stebbins having a great run here today. Both cars seem to be handling pretty well now, and they're battling it out for that third spot. As Barry Gray continues to fly away from the field, this time Stebbins dives in, makes contact with Griswold. Griswold gets sideways, but holds on to his spot. Now here comes Kirk Alexander right back with the 44X. Stebbins is going to get some heat. 2 laps to go for Barry Gray. Roger Shepard. Here comes Griswold off the turn. This time the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Barry Gray. We'll see who's going to hold on for that third spot. Will it be Griswold, Stebbins, or maybe Alexander? They've got less than a lap to battle it out, and now the checkered flag is in the air. It's Barry Gray for the victory. In for third, it's Griswold in car number 60.
Getting autographs, handing out the autographs for those of you who need them. And I'm sure he's going to want to watch the modified show, so if you got an autograph to get it now, because the modifieds are coming up next. Bike will be trackside with your winner, who takes a Kelwicki Polish victory lap for his 4th win. And I'm sure also in honor of the fact that the Winston Cup drivers are here in New England for the first time for a long, long time. I think the 60s might have been the last time the old Grand National Tour with the top name drivers came to New England. Barry Gray's last win came on June 4th.
Everybody
gentlemen, here's your winner, Barry Gray. All right, Barry, congratulations. This car was really fast today as you keep the spirit of Alan Kawicki alive.
I'll tell you, we've been working at this car real hard, and it's been a problem, and today we worked extra special hard, and it seems like we got it worked in, and I promised somebody I'd do that victory lap in memory of Alan Kawicki, and I did it tonight. I want to thank all you fans for coming out here tonight. Cliff's Auto Body, Precision Powered, Tony's Radiator, Meadows Motor Cars, Say No to Drugs. Thank you very much.
There's your winner, Barry Gray. 4th win of the season with car number 29. Now, here's your 2nd place finisher, Roger Shepard. Roger, congratulations. Great comeback after being involved in that lap 1 incident.
Yeah, thanks. It was kind of warm in the car. My exhaust got turned inward there, and it felt kind of hot in there. But Barry did a good job. The whole team did a good job. The car went pretty good tonight. Thanks.
Here's your 2nd place finisher, Roger Shepard. And over here, Glenn Griswold. Glenn, another great run. This car is really dialing in week after week, I'll tell you.
Thanks a lot. Feels good to come up here, like you said last time, and run with these guys. We had to do it from the back of the pack tonight. I was hanging on there behind them guys. I knew they were battling pretty tight. I says, geez, if one of these guys spins out or touches each other the wrong way, I says, I got a shot to get in there. And that's what happened. And that's racing luck. And I really want to thank my crew because I got a crew here tonight. Last time we didn't. This car's really hooked up. It's been going good. A few people I want to thank, Gary Fairmoney Racing and Fletcher's Competitive Racing Engines and my whole family and all my crew. They did a great job. Thanks.
All right, there's your 3rd place finisher. Great run for Glenn Griswold. Now we'll head on over back to Barry Gray where we'll draw the winning 50.
It will be the strictly stock race, which will be coming up right after this 35-lap modified feature. Ed Stone, T.J. Small, Rusty Ball. Here they come, looking for the green, and we're off. Down into turn 1 off 2, it's going to be Stone, Small, Ball, RT, and Pinkham, Bateman. 1 lap in, and your leader is Stone. Ed Stone trying to hang in there. Dave Pinkham works the outside on T.J. Small. Rusty Ball up the inside. Bateman right on Pinkham's bumper. Stone holds the lead. Now Pinkham's outside Small, going for 2nd. Off turn 4, he's got it going into turn 2, and Pinkham is in 2nd. Pinkham on Stone's bumper, moves him out of the way, goes underneath. He's got the lead. Dave Pinkham moves into the lead, looking for his first win. Stone 2nd, Bateman 3rd. Small 4th, then it's Avery, Ball, Kennedy, Marquis, Jarvis, and Albro. Bateman now into 2nd. Your leader is Dave Pinkham. Jack Bateman goes 2nd. Ed Stone 3rd. Dan Avery 4th. T.J. Small 5th. 6th is Kennedy. 7th is Ball. 8th is Marquis. Jarvis 9th and Albro 10th. Dave Pinkham well out in front. Avery moves into 3rd now. Stone back to 4th. Kennedy up to 5th. Ball 6th. Marquis 7th. Ball 8th. 9th is Jarvis. 10th is Albro. Looking to move up into 4th as he gets underneath. Here's Marquis in trouble. Marquis way out in the marbles, almost lost it. Pinkham and Bateman now getting closer together. Avery 3rd, Kennedy 4th, Stone is Albro, 9th is Ball, and 10th is Garvin. Marquis moves into 5th now. Dave Bingham, Jack Bateman up front. Avery 3rd, Kennedy 4th. 5th is Marquis. Stone is 6th, Ball 7th. Albro 8th, Jarvis 9th, 10th is Ball. Jarvis starting to move up now as we move in on the halfway mark. Up front, it's Bingham and Bateman. Then Avery and Kennedy. Marquis all alone in 5th. Stone 6th, Ball 7th. Jarvis up to 8th and moving up the inside. He'll take over 7th. Move in behind Stone. Jarvis a half lap behind the leaders. Leaders on a backstretch into 3. Now into 4. We're halfway. Halfway now. Bingham the leader, Bateman 2nd. Avery, Kennedy contesting 3rd. Marquis is 5th. Bingham owns the move. 20 laps down, now 21. Dave Bingham up front. Jack Bateman 2nd. Dan Avery 3rd. Ed Kennedy 4th. Marquis is 5th. They got a pair up front. They got 3 behind him. Then you've got Jarvis in 6th all by himself. Here's Kennedy working on Avery for 3rd. Kennedy has the shot. Marquis drives underneath. Bingham around the Keith Stevens car. Bateman on his bumper. Kennedy a straightaway behind in 3rd. Jarvis closing in, but it's still Marquis 4th, Avery 5th, and Jarvis 6th. Now, 10 laps to go, 10 to go. Dave Bingham, Jack Bateman, then Kennedy, Marquis, Avery, and Jarvis. Jarvis trying to close the gap. Kennedy holding Marquis behind him. Kennedy, Marquis for 3rd. Avery alone in 5th. Jarvis alone in 6th. Up front, Dave Bingham trying to keep Jack Bateman behind him. They move up on Maroka and Cole. Your leaders are going to have lap traffic to contend with now. Bingham's got to pick a spot. Bateman could take advantage of it. The 3rd and 4th place cars are going to be closing in. They got to move Wade Cole over. Here comes Bingham. He's trying to look to the high side of Cole. They move up on Cole. He doesn't move. 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go now. Bingham, Bateman, Kennedy, Marquis, Avery, and Jarvis. 4 laps left for Dave Bingham. 4 to go. Bingham, Bateman, Kennedy, and Marquis are closing in. We've got lap traffic galore. 3 laps to go, 3 to go. Bingham around Stone. Kennedy, 10 car lengths back. 2 laps to go now, 2 to go. Bingham, Bateman, battling for the win. gets his first Monadnock win. And a great battle with the veteran Jack Bateman. But I think this is one he's been waiting for, and I think we'll find out just how much he's been waiting for it in just a minute. Boy, it's been a night of interesting events. And in just a minute, we'll have a chance to greet the man who's already had a pair up north. This guy is awful calm. He's chatting with his wife, just having a nice, friendly little conversation. Hey, honey, I'm doing okay. It's fine. Really great radio. Let's welcome our winner tonight. Here he is, Dave Pinkham. Dave, I'll tell you something. For a guy who just got his first win on Monadnock Speedway, you're awful calm in there.
Well, I've raced a lot this week. I raced 100 lapper up Oxford Sunday in a Nat car and started last and finished fourth, and drove it again Thursday night in a 50 lapper and finished fourth again, and got the ride for the 250. So I'm going to be a pretty busy boy in the next couple of weeks.
Well, busy enough, and this is a great way to cap off the win. Actually, got one more race to go this week.
One more to go, see if we can lap her up.
Great win. How's the car running?
Car's running super. You know, we wrecked there a couple of weeks ago in that double point race, and we saved that set of tires aside, and they sat for a while, and there was a stagger that I wanted. And thanks in a couple of weeks, that helped it out a lot. The car was right on the money, you know. And the car owner isn't here tonight, and it's his birthday tomorrow, so he's going to be one happy camper.
He is a camper. I think he's probably camping out to come over tomorrow.
Well, no, he has to work a lot, so he can't come over on Friday night. But I'd just like to thank Mobile One and Rex Garrett, who builds the Remington transmissions, and B&G Speed from South Portland, Maine, who build a super motor, and Howard Johnson from Springfield, Vermont, who helps us out with rooms, and the One Ads and Wheels, etc., and Minuteman Lube. There's so many people that help us out that it's unbelievable.
Well, it's certainly quite a combination. I know you've been waiting for this. You've been close a couple of times. You've even had the lead and lost it at the last minute. Here you are with a win, and that's got to be great.
It's great, you know, and I also like to thank my wife, because she puts up with a lot, you know, now that I'm racing that other car, so I got to thank her a lot, because she sticks by me 100%.
Well, that's just backs up what Jimmy Spencer said during his interview. Without the family and the crew, you can't get to victory lane.
No, and her father is my father-in-law, so it's a family thing we got going here, and it's been great. Been with him 6 years, and I couldn't ask for a better car owner.
Good win. Dave Pinkham, first win at Monadnock, and we'll see more of him. Now, let's move up the line, because we had some guys that really did some considerable contesting going on. Jake Bateman, I thought maybe that first win was going to be coming up, but not quite tonight.
Well, no, we were going pretty good, but David was going just as good in there. You know, we just didn't have enough.
Well, you had it, and you had some bad luck last week, but it's nice to come back and finish second. And you had a win this last weekend too, right?
Yeah, we had a win at Claremont. It was really a tough race, but you know, we were lucky.
Good win, good second spot for Jack Bateman. Keeps you up there in the points. We'll see you in victory lane here at Monadnock again before we're done. And where is it? Hello? Yo, there he is. We'll do a little do-si-do out here. You've had a busy day, huh?
Boy, I guess so. It was so hot up there and loud, and then this no caution here really took a toll too.
Well, tell me how things go loud. You have you were let's see if I can say this right. Entered in 2 rides.
Actually, no. We brought the modified up there. Intention to come in here. We wanted to concentrate on the Busch car. Last time we were there with the modified and the Busch car, and it was the first time ever in a Busch car. So it was, you know, between the two of them, it's a big difference. You know, I think Jimmy will tell you about the, you know, between the, you know, them Fender's cars and these, it's a big difference. It took me a while to get it, but we did halfway decent today in the Busch car, and we concentrated on just that.
Did you qualify today?
Yeah, we qualified 16th.
Well, that's not too bad for first time out on a track. You've been on that track in the modified, obviously.
Yeah, we've been on a modified. Yeah, I guess it was. We were a little worried actually making it. There was 52 Busch cars there, and we, you know, we did halfway decent.
Well, 16th out of 52 is a pretty healthy way to finish and to come down here and get a good run third, because you had to fight a little bit to get out of the back of the pack too.
Yeah, it was tough here tonight. Everybody was running pretty quick here tonight.
A good run and a hot night and fewer accidents. That's great. Ed Kennedy finishes third, and we'll see him back in victory lane, sure, before this season's out. Strictly Stocks are coming up.
20 lap Strictly Stock feature event. Kevin Livingood and Frank Harry Sr. on the front row with Bob Marion and Paul Barnard right behind them, and Bob Bazzaio all starting in the top 5. They bring the field around, and we're set. There's the green flag. They're off and running. Into turn number 1. Livingood and Carey are side by side. On the high side, Barnard gets crossed up with a 24, and Zelinsky squeezes by with car number 7. He takes Rob Morton with him. In for the lead, it's Carey. Livingood running second, then it's Marion, Zelinsky, and Bazzaio. On the outside, Morton has moved up to 6th, then it's Johnston, Barnard, and Zellman. Then here comes Steve Drew in the 17. Drew and Zellman come in. Zellman makes contact with Johnston. He gets all out of shape. Steve Drew gets the best of it as he moves way up, and Barnard gets bounced around. The 24 goes into turn 3, make that turn 1 with a hard shot. Out in front, it's Carey. Here comes Zelinsky down low with the 7. He makes the move to the inside of Marion for the 2nd spot. Behind them, Morton and Livingood are going at it for the 4th position. Then it's Bazzaio in the 6th, Drew in the 17, Cashman the 17X, and Zellman in the 22. Followed by Meany the 15 and Johnson in the 2. Barnard in the 24 falls off the pace with a problem. Tough break for Paul Barnard. Back up front, battle for the lead. Zelinsky down low with car number 7. Makes his way to the inside in the front straightaway, and has taken the lead from Frank Harry Sr. as they head down the backstretch. Carey falling to 2nd. Battle for 3rd. Warren and Marion going at it. Right behind them is Steve Drew moving up to 5th now with a 17. Tom Cashman Jr. right there. Kevin Livingood, Bob Bazzaio having a battle. On the outside, Rob Warren in the OC is looking to grab 3rd. Can't make the move past Marion, and here comes Cashman. Tom Cashman Jr. running the low side. The 17X, he has 4th by a nose. Can he hold it over Morton? Morton comes right back on the outside, battling for 3rd with Marion, but just can't make the move. On the inside, here comes Steve Drew in the 17, back down low on Cashman. Cashman now moves into contend for 3rd with Marion. They make a little contact, and Cashman is able to get by down low. Now here comes Drew down low. And Steve Drew will move into 4th. So it's Zelinsky way out in front. Carey is holding on to 2nd, but here comes Tom Cashman Jr. in 3rd. Steve Drew has now moved into 4th. Then it's Bob Marion in 5th in the 53, followed by Rob Warren in the OT in 6th. 7th is the 6th of Bazzaio. 8th will be the 15 for Meany. Then it's the 46 of Griswold. And now moving into 10th is the 08 of Buca. Paul Barnard back. He is several laps down anyway, gets the black flag as Tom Cashman Jr. has just moved into position number 2. He's got a ways to go to catch Zelinsky, and Steve Drew is hot on his heels with the 17. There's a car in between them. Cashman bounces off the wall on the backstretch. He appears to be okay. Zelinsky with about a full straightaway lead. Cashman 2nd, Carey 3rd, Drew still 4th. Marion holding on to 5th, doing a fine job with the 53. Meany has now moved up to 6th, and it's Morton, Griswold, Bazzaio, and Buca, followed by Zellman. This time, 5 laps laps to go for Scott Zielinski. Zielinski looking for his 4th win of the year with car number 7. Gassman is trying so hard to catch up, and little by little he's doing so, but he just might run out of time. We've got less than 4 laps to go. Bill Johnston pulls into the infield with car number 2, and suddenly a problem for Frank Harry. Sounds like transmission trouble on the 3 as that car just pops coming off of turn 2. However, he keeps it going and just loses a couple of spots with car number 3. Frank Harry Sr. was running 3rd, so that'll move Steve Drew up to that 3rd spot. Battle for 4th. Marion, Griswold, and Meany going at it. Griswold finds room down low, and Cashman off of turn 2. Looks like the radiator lets go on the 17X, and we have the white flag waiting for Zielinski. Drew now catches a break for 2nd, and Jeff Griswold is up to 3rd. Tough break for Tom Cashman Jr. The 17X lets go while running 2nd, and the checkered flag waves for the 7 of Scott Zielinski.
And holy cow, folks, we have already finished our night of racing. I hope you'll take it easy on the way home. Don't forget, we've got a full program next Friday night, 6:30 starting time, and then next Sunday afternoon, it's our second set of Enduros, twin 100s for the full-size, 4-cylinder 100-lapper and a pair of powder puffs, all coming up next weekend. Hope we'll see you here. If you go to Loudon, have a great time. If you don't go to Loudon, don't forget that the North Country Street Rods have a big show Sunday at Allen Field in Ashby, Massachusetts.
Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Zielinski. All right, Scott, this car was really hooked up tonight. Once you got out there, it just took off.
We really had a problem in the beginning of the night. The car didn't want to run well. And everyone worked together, and we all figured it out. We ran a really good race. It seemed too easy.
Sponsors you'd like to thank for this 4th win of the year.
I really like to thank Zielinski Sugar House, Paul Mary Electric, and Zielinski Racing, which my brother's the head of Zielinski Racing. He really did everything for us. And I'd like to really appreciate Glenn McCrory for coming on to the team and giving what he has. That's why we win.
All right, congratulations, Scott Zielinski, on another victory. Here's your 2nd place finisher over here, Steve Drew. Steve, congratulations. You just ran out of time and got a lucky break there, though, on the last lap for the runner-up spot. Congratulations.
Well, we had a good run for runner-up. Scotty was checked out in the front, and he was just not looking back. No mercy from that man. Jeff, he was right behind us strong. Tough for Tom Cashman. Terrible. Hate that happen to anybody. I'd like to thank all my guys who worked extra hard this week. Even helped me in my work get done so we can make it here tonight. I'd like to dedicate this to John, who's getting married this weekend. Came all the way from California to see us race.
All right, congratulations, Steve Drew. Another top 5 finish with the 17, your 2nd place finisher. Here's your 3rd place finisher, Jeff Griswold. Jeff, another great run. Congratulations.
I'd like to thank my sponsors at Athens Restaurant, Hastings Automatic Transmission, Aldrich Race Engine, and I'd especially like to thank my Uncle Fred Felton for helping us out with the car. He's been a big, big help for us this year. Really appreciate the help.
All right, Jeff Griswold, one of our top rookies, your 3rd place finisher tonight, car number 46.